Yo, what's up, guys? So today we're gonna be doing another kind of commander profile, but it's similar to when I did the Ixchel commander profile, which is Precon of Sadar Jabari, I believe is his name. Yes, of Zalfir. I was able to pick this up at my local game store on pre-release weekend, so I think the set comes out Friday. It's usually a week apart. So this video will be going up a little bit earlier than you know, intended. But I wanted to show you guys the cards as well as a new little thing I'm gonna do at the end of videos, or at least of um deck profiles where I show you some cards I like to add to the deck, as long as it's, a deck profile of something that's a precon. So we're just gonna get right into it, guys. But before we do that, I'd like to ask you guys go down there and hit that red subscribe button. We're trying to hit 1,000 subs before the end of the year. We're making good headway. Yesterday, or I guess Monday, because this will be going up on Wednesday. Monday's video did really well. Hoping this video does well as well. I think the commander profiles do a little bit better than most of the videos I do nowadays, but yeah, all the support helps. But let's get. All right, guys, this is the Sadar Jabari of Zalfir Precon. Comes with this deck box like most do nowadays. Has the you know color scheme on it, and then the commander on the front. The deck comes with the deck, obviously, but also one of these card stock, like thick boys of your commander. It's embossed, and then it comes with tokens. We've got two knights, two vampire knights, a blood token. Got some zombie knights, some regular knights, a monarch. And then on the other side, we have a shapeshifter. We have assassins, humans, more shapeshifters, soldiers, and spirits. Um, you get your little life counter thing. Getting kind of lazy with it, I guess, because most of them are supposed to have like the commander on it, but they ain't doing. They didn't do it with this one. So weird. Um, you also get a nice little planar die with your one side for planeswalk and chaos. Um, I don't know if they all come with the same uh plane chase cards, but I'll give a little showing of the plane chase cards I got. Just do a little like if you want to read it, pause the video. The plane chase stuff is really fun. One of my buddies in my play group had the original plane chase. We played occasionally. It kind of elongates games, which I guess is like the biggest issue with plane chase. I find it fun though. I'm super happy that they started these new plane chase cards, considering that there's the whole new um this whole set is about the invasion of all the planes. But I'm not going to keep you guys much longer. We're going to get right into the cards that are included in the deck. So to start, we have our commander, Sadar Jabari of Zalfir, the first commander to have eminence since the 2017 uh, precons. Back in a simpler time when we only got the 4 precons per year, or the one set of commander precons per year. He is one, a white, a blue, and a black for a legendary creature human knight. He is a 4/3. Has eminence, says whenever you attack with one or more knights, if Sadar Jabari of Zalfir is in the command zone or on the battlefield, draw a card, then discard a card. So he's, card draw, he's advantage. Um, his second ability goes into that whole discard thing. He's got flying and first strike, and it says whenever he deals combat damage to a player, return target knight creature card from your graveyard to the battlefield. So you can kind of use his ability to circumvent discards to get some knights that you don't want to, cast onto the battlefield. He's really cool. Then we have the alt commander, which is Alenda and Azor. A 6/6 for 6, 3 colorless, white, blue, and black for a legendary vampire knight sphinx with flying and ward 2. Whenever Alenda and Azor attacks, you may pay X in one of each of the 3 colors in your commander's color profile. And if you do draw X cards, at the beginning of each end step, you may pay 4 life. If you do, create a number of 1/1 black vampire knight creature tokens with lifelink equal to the number of cards you've drawn this turn. So that's kind of nifty. Kind of expensive, but you're in blue and black, so I think the life portion isn't that bad. It's the paying into drawing. But it's not the worst. We're gonna get into the bulk of the cards. Hi guys, this is editor Zach speaking. When I initially was doing the video, I accidentally dropped the deck and had to pick up the cards off my desk. Um, New sleeve slippery and stuff. I did end up missing a card in the deck profile. It is Vona, Butcher of Magon. It is the Vampire Knight from Ixalan. I just wanted to let you guys know so you didn't think that they're like, I got a misprinted version of the deck or I wasn't copying or I wasn't showcasing a card that is in the deck. He is in the deck. He got shoved underneath something and I didn't see him. Completely spaced it. But yeah, let's get back to the video. We've got Arvad the Cursed. A lot of these aren't not many of these cards are new. Most of these are older legendary knights. So generic knights are in most knight decks. Then we have Ariel, Knight of Windgrace. We have Knights of the Black Rose. We have Wintermoor Commander. We have Corpse Knight. We have a Knight of the Last Breath. We have a Voldalen Wave Knight. I believe this is a new card. Um, this one's kind of cool. Works in Merfolk decks as well, which is always nice. We have Adelaine, Resplendent Cathar, needed the reprint. Very nice. Hero of Bladehold. We have a copy of Acclaimed Contender. We have a Knight Exemplar. We have a Knight of the White Orchid. We have Valiant Knight. We have a Silverwing Squadron. We have a Worthy Knight. We have Sir Conrad the Grim. Josu Ves Lich Knight. We have a Hakon Stromgald Scourge. This is one of those knights you're going to want in your graveyard. We have a Smitten Swordmaster. A Foulmire Knight. We have an Order of Midnight. A Exsanguinator Cavalry. A Lochthwain Lancer. A Midnight Reaper. A Murderous Rider. Liliana's Standard Bearer. We have Sir Eleonora, the Discerning. We have Herald of Hoofbeats, New Knight. He is a 3/3 for 4. I'm going to cover this one just because I love this keyword. A 3/3 for 4 creature human knight with horsemanship. You don't know what horsemanship is? This creature can't be blocked by can't be blocked except by creatures with horsemanship. Kind of like creatures that have like Island Walk and stuff like that. And then it says other knights you control have horsemanship. People were really hoping that card would be in like there would be horsemanship in the new Lord of the Rings set. I'm still hoping for it considering they're doing a whole pre-con deck on the Rohirrim knights, like the people from Rohan. We have Zarek Strobe Knight. We have Aether Sworn Adjudicator. God. And then we have the enchantments. We have Chivalric Alliance and Knight's Charge. Both very good reprints. I don't even they might be reprints. I'm not entirely sure. All I know is people really like those cards. They've got a good price on them. We've got our artifacts. We have Soul Ring, Arcane Signet, Belwar Stone, Orzhov Signet. Wait, yeah, Orzhov Signet. We have a Fractured Power Stone. There's going to be a lot of cards that have to do with the planar dice. Those cards are going to be the first things you take out if you don't want them, like if you're not playing Plane Chase. We have a Mind Stone, Commander Sphere, a Herald's Horn, a Vanquisher's Banner. We have an Ecor Elixir. We have a Conjurer's Mantle, another nice card that's been added to the deck. Maul of Skyclaves. We have a Sigiled Sword of Valerin. Next is our instants and sorceries. We have a Path to Exile, Sword to Plowshares, a Unbreakable Formation, a Return to Dust. We have a Pull from Tomorrow, Despark, Time Wipe, Promise of Loyalty, Fell the Mighty, A Distant Melody, Path of the Enigma. We have a Painful Truths, a Read the Bones, and then we will get into the lands. For the lands, we have a Command Tower, Path of Ancestry, Exotic Orchard, Arcane Sanctum. Then we've got these lands, which the first time I've seen these lands was actually in the what do you want to call it? The Jumpstart packs. Um, these are tapped lands, obviously, but they enter the battlefield. You choose a color other than white, and then it taps for that or the color that you chose. So we got one for white, one for blue, and one for black. So you can choose one of the other three colors in the color scheme of the deck that you choose. We have Evolving Wilds. I like the art on this. A Terramorphic Expanse, a Myriad Landscape, ooh, Temple of the False God, and then we have a Temple of Enlightenment, Prairie Stream, Port Town, Temple of Deceit, Sunken Hollow, Choked Estuary, Temple of Silence, and then a Shine, Shadow, Snarl, and then a Bajuka Bog, which is always a nice card to have in the deck. And then we've got the basic lands. Overall, I really like this deck. I picked this deck mainly for the fact that the commander has Eminence. Um, I really like Eminence as a mechanic. I wish they, you know, utilized it a little bit more than they do, but they don't. So, um, I get that it's very powerful, but I really like it, so that's why I picked it up. Just so happens that this is the more expensive of the decks in terms of reprint value. We're gonna get into the next segment, new segment, some cards that I will probably add to this deck after this video to pull out some of the plane chase stuff. Um, but just some cards that I had on hand that I think are nice additions. If you happen to have the cards and want to add them to your version of the deck, that could be nice too. But to start, we have a Satoru Umezawa. Mainly for the each creature card in your hand has ninjutsu for. Being able to ninjutsu stuff in is always nice. Um, he fits into the color scheme. Um, so I kind of like it. But he's like on the lower end of the list. He's one of the legendary creatures I chose though. We have Quende, Pride of Femerith. Double strike, and then creatures you control with first strike have double strike, so that's always nice. We have a Black Blade Reforged. Just a nice equipment for the night deck. We have Swiftfoot Boots. No boots in the deck whatsoever. Kind of sad that they didn't add them, but I'll add them myself if I have to. We have a Danitha uh, Capuchin Paragon. She's kind of a nice knight to include in decks, especially if you're going to run equipments in it. Then we have Teysa, Envoy of Ghosts. We're already making some spirits. Figure we could use some more. Also, she's very sticky. She stays on the field real well. Then we have a Sensei's Divining Top. Obviously, not everybody's going to have this. It's kind of expensive. It's like 20 something dollars. So, but I think it's just nice to be able to sift through the top of your deck and choose what you're going to be drawing into. Then we've got one of the newer cards. We have Invasion of New Capenna. Um, when it enters battlefield, you may sacrifice an artifact or creature. When you do, exile target artifact or creature an opponent controls. So, kind of helpful to get rid of stuff. But then it becomes the Holy Frazzle Cannon once these pointers are removed. It's kind of like how Planeswalkers work. This enters with 4 counters on it. Once the counter's gone, it transforms onto your side of the field. Um, Whenever a equipped creature attacks, put a +1/+1 counter on that creature for each other creature you control that shares a creature type with it. Equip 1. So just a really nice equipment to include in a specific creature theme deck like this, which is a night deck. Then we have another one. We have Invasion of Belanon, which is when it enters battlefield, create a 2/2 white and blue night creature token with vigilance. That's always nice, being able to get some knights onto the field. 3 mana is not that bad, especially considering once you take out the counters, it becomes Belanon War Anthem. Creatures you control get +1/+1. It's a little bit steep to get a +1/+1 enchantment, but I think it kind of makes up for it in the fact that it incentivizes your opponents to attack it as well. Then we have Marshal of Zalfir. He's a 2/2 for 1 white and 1 blue. Other knights you control get +1/+1. He says tap a white and a blue and tap him. Tap another target creature, so you can kind of evade, I guess, keep other creatures on your opponent's side of the field from dealing damage to you. And then the final card is Zalfirin Lancer, a 3/3 for 3. Whenever it enters the battlefield under your control, it gets +1, or whenever another knight enters the battlefield under your control, it gets +1/+1 and gains vigilance until the end of turn. So like a nice little guy to get pumped a bit when you're attacking. Like one of the first cards you can add or like get onto the battlefield and then start pumping guys. You can also use the whole ninjutsu cost to get some guys in during combat. Say your guys aren't you attack with like 4 guys. Um they've already been on the battlefield. They get blocked, whatever. You can ninjutsu in some guys. This guy gets pumped. He's the one that wasn't blocked, and you're dealing a good chunk of damage to your opponent. Just some nice utility in the deck. We're gonna get into some closing arguments on the, or not closing arguments, but closing thoughts on the deck. All right, guys. So overall, I really enjoy the deck. Um, as always, I always preach this: buy singles. I don't think any of these decks are worth picking up at market value unless you really want, like, if you really want to play like knights and you don't want to, like, you don't want to, you know, build a whole deck on your own. $40 isn't bad, or 45, whatever your local shop is selling it for. I think on Amazon they're like 37 or something like that. So they're cheaper on Amazon, but local, always support your local game store. I picked mine up for 45 from the local game store instead of ordering it for a, official release date for cheaper. All of these are going to be way cheaper down the line than they are now. This one is probably the only one I see maybe being a little bit higher once it stops getting printed. Um, just because of the cards that are printed in it. Some of them have a little bit of a price. Adelaine is one of them. The 2 enchantments that are in the deck are a little bit more expensive. Um, the what is it? The Conjurer's Mantle. The equipment is a little bit one of the more expensive cards in the deck, as well as the two new horsemen or whatever, the merfolk one, and then the one with horsemanship. Those ones are got a little bit of a price, not super expensive, like a couple dollars. But the other 4 decks are 100% going to be like below market value. They're probably going to be like $30 decks. Like they're not going to be expensive at all. They're all like their reprints are nowhere near this one's, and even then this one's reprint value wasn't too high. So, if you want to build, these cards and stuff, I 100% recommend just picking up singles of the cards you want, versus spending the 40 something dollars on the deck unless you can wait. In which case you should. Um, I really like it though. I was only picking up the one. This is the only one I wanted. The only other one I could see myself wanting was the Phyrexian Cat one, which is like a Phyrexian deck. Um, but I wasn't too interested, so I didn't pick it up. The deck is fine. I think that it only does so much though, just because most creature themed decks can only do so much. Like they can have a secondary like objective that they do, but this one is very much just hand advantage, graveyard advantage. You get Bajuka Bog, you're done. Late game, like if they Bajuka Bog you, and you got all of your knights are gone, like you're done. Like you can't recover from that. So I think it's very interesting the deck has its own Bajuka Bog though, because it's a good utility card to get rid of a person's graveyard, but it's kind of weird to include in the deck that utilizes its graveyard so much. I don't know if it's to compete with the other 4 decks. I don't know if any of the other ones have graveyard recursion, but this one's very nice. Like I said earlier, I think that the plane chase stuff is very unique, and I'm very excited that we're getting more planes added to plane chase. It's actually got me thinking about possibly buying the original set for plane chase, but I'd have to look at that. So I'll probably check that out at a later date. Plus, this rinky dink little plane chase die. The original plane chase die is like that big, very hefty. Um, really gives you the sense of like rolling to get off the plane when you're tossing a like quarter pound die onto the fucking onto your play table. So I'm excited to test this deck. I probably won't be playing it in paper anytime soon because most of my play group is not reliable to hang out, and we do hang out. We don't really play Magic. We end up doing other stuff. So I might try it. Like usually when we play Magic, we play on like simulators like Cockatrice. But I could easily pick the list up off of like EDH Rec or Tapped Out or something like that. Throw it into Cockatrice and try it out as it is. But that's the deck. Uh, not very much left to talk about. Pretty cool. But yeah, if you liked the video, don't forget to like and subscribe. Hit that bell notification button down below to know when my videos go live, and I will catch you guys in the next video.